Hey folks, this is Vince with Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly check out Sail Forth. This is a game that you can find on Steam for about 20 bucks. There is a $5 Maelstrom DLC available that adds more content to the base game. I haven't gotten that far yet, although I did get a press key for both the core and the DLC games. So this is like a very cutesy pirate game, kinda sorta. It's got like this Animal Crossing art, like very cutesy. But you still like get to manage ships and equip them with different kind of guns, and you also get crew members and the like. So all of that is really cool. There is a sandbox mode outside of the adventure. So if you want to like just create a storyless game, you can do that. You can customize the world that you start in, how many islands there are, time of day, enemy difficulty, how many enemies there are, how many boat parts that you start with, and all that. So if you're not looking for a story and just sort of want to just play around in a sandbox environment, a la like say Sid Meier's Pirates, once you get done with the main story, that is, then you'll be absolutely fine to do that. You don't have to play the story in this game. Although I went ahead and did it because I had no idea how to play it. Although it seemed to be fairly simple. The biggest hurdle that I had to wrap my head around was the sailing mechanic, which you can totally automate, by the way, in the settings menu. But based on the wind direction, you kind of have to tilt your sail left or right, and there's a little red and green bar underneath, like, well, actually to the left of your like compass on the bottom of your screen. If the bar is in the green, then you've got the sail facing the right direction. You'll get the most speed out of it. So you kind of have to like jiggle that, assuming again that you don't have it automated in the settings menu. My time with this game has been mainly sailing around and shooting boxes on islands with my cannons. This earns me parts and other cool things. There are clams on beaches, and you just shoot those and you get pearls out of them. So like very simple, very, very kiddie style pirate game, like I said. Although it is possible to lose your starter ship and to lose your crew members. If you die, the game will ask you, do you wish to play with another ship that you have docked, or do you just want to reload a previous save? So you'll be able to like buy new ships. You'll be able to like either dock them or have them follow you and escort you, which is kind of cool. There is an island, like there's a map, and it's broken up into like sections. And in a particular section is this merchant. And this is where you can go to bring stuff to sell to him. And you can buy new ships, ship parts, different things like that. So like there is a reason to continue playing this, because you start off with a really crappy ship. It only has so much weight, and it only has 2 cannon slots. But as you continue playing this game, you'll be able to upgrade your ship a bit more. You'll be able to equip better cannons, and you'll find these cannons in the environment too, but you have to keep in mind your ship has a carry weight limit, so you have to really think about that. But yeah, I do like the fact that there are different ship models available, and you can buy, various pieces of equipment. There's modifications that you can place on them. There's furniture slots and the like that you can place on them. So like that would give me a reason to keep playing. And you'll find blueprints in the environment, and these blueprints will add to the available boats that are, well, available for purchase, for lack of a better term. So yeah, I mean, I like that end of it. I like grinding out money and buying better things. Like it's like a typical RPG that way. But again, like it's done in a very casual setting. So, but the enemies can still really kill you. In fact, I didn't see any way to adjust the difficulty in the primary adventure mode, which I think is a problem. I would love to be able to I wish there was more of like an exploration difficulty where it tones down the enemies somewhat, or a more hardcore one where, enemies are more rampant. I wish there were more settings available for that. Just because, well, some people like to play casual, some people like to play hardcore, and, I personally would have liked a slightly easier experience, but even with my casual nature, I really didn't have any issues with this game. I had to constantly repair, just because taking damage in this game is a thing, and again, you lose your ship, you lose your ship. The interface takes some getting used to, especially when like you're exploring it for the first time. It's not very intuitive how to interact with your fleet. You have to like first figure out what the manage boat screen is trying to tell you, but you can outfit different weapons and again mods and decorations there. But like the game asked me to repair my boat. I didn't know how to do it. I'm sitting there, okay. I click on the ship name, which you can rename, by the way, and then there's a repair button and stuff like that. And then as far as like moving things from one ship to another, that's also a little cumbersome. You have to go to your old ship. You have to remove all of the items from that ship into like a general docking bay, I guess, or cargo hold. And then you can start equipping them to your new ship. So again, like it took me some time to really get a handle on how the interface worked and how I was supposed to interact with it. And that also leads me to like the tutorial. Sometimes the tutorial goals were not clearly laid out and I didn't know what I was supposed to do next. Like the camera will sometimes zoom initially to an island, but if I get turned around, there's no like waypoint in this game. There's no waypoint system. So like if you weren't paying attention the first time out or you click through the text too quickly, you may not know what you're supposed to do. And I think that's a problem. And I even bugged out on the very onset of the tutorial. For whatever reason, I guess my ship hit something, and then the game automatically moved me to a different area on the map because I was stuck. I was completely stuck. But then I couldn't move. I couldn't go forward. I couldn't go backward. So I'd broken the game, so I had to reload. So like little things like that kind of set me off, like just lack of direction, and sometimes there's a little bit of bugginess there. But like as far as other things you can do, there's like a target practice area where, you know, if you hit so many targets within the time limit, you get a prize. There's a race that you can embark on, and that's just get from one waypoint to the next and beat them that way. Again, this is I feel like people that are like into casual, like I just want to sail around and have a good time, you know, this game might do it for you. I think, you know, I think it's the kind of game where you can just kind of wind down with. Whereas if you were expecting some kind of hardcore, you know, Sid Meier Pirates or, you know, Patrician, I don't even know. Like, there's a bunch of different sailing games out there. This one is, you know, much more casual. Windward is another. It's like it's kind of like this, but it's harder core RPG. This one was like, you know, it's just, again, I think it was meant more for kids, to be honest with you, or just adults that just want an easier time, which is perfectly fine. I'm just saying that's what to expect. Like I ran into a pirate when racing and I still won somehow. Yeah, this pirate gunned right for me and somehow I still pulled out ahead. So again, it wasn't that difficult. But still, I did. There was a couple of instances where I underestimated the pirate's strength. Like again, just a couple of shots can knock your health down, and you know, if you're not careful, you can just die outright. So yeah, again, I wish there was a way to tone down enemy AI difficulty. Maybe make enemy shots 50% less powerful, so that, you know, you can take more hits, something like that. So that, you know, you've got, you know, for people that have a harder time with combat or, you know, can't handle all of these things happening all at once, then by all means, I think a separate setting for that would have been helpful. But again, there is that sandbox mode outside of the free roam adventure. So if you want to, you know, play sandbox and bypass all of that combat, you could totally do that. The combat itself wasn't too bad, and I like that you can fast travel between places. Each place on the map has like a little icon underneath them, or set of icons that tell you what's there. So you can expect pirates at this location. You can expect the target practice at this location. You can expect this at this location, and so on and so on. But again, most of my time was spent just mainly shooting things. And the way combat works is that you hold in the shift button on your keyboard and it brings up all of the arcs on your ship. What I don't like about it is that you have no control over which cannon fires. So if you've got two separate arced cannons trained on an enemy ship, then it'll just fire whichever one you want. And sometimes as you're passing, you want one to fire first because it's going to be out of range within the last second. And then you want the second one that's going to be in range a little bit longer to fire. Sometimes like the cannons would fire out of order and it's not what I wanted. But again, the game is casual enough to where it's not that big of a deal. But again, mainly just shoot the crap out of these pirates, and I love that. There are no boarding mechanics from what I saw. I ran full blown into a pirate ship, and we just kind of sat there and shot at each other, and it was just an attrition battle at that point to see who would die first. Health is displayed in the upper left, at least your health. Whenever it reaches 0, your ship dies. The enemy ships are typically in the upper right. So as you point your gun at something, the enemy health will appear up there, and you can see how much health he's got left. There's even a little bullet like reticle that will appear that'll help you lead your shot. It's not 100% foolproof because it doesn't take into account, like if you're trying to shoot a box on a sloped island, if you aim too low, you might hit the hill instead, so you still have to lead the shot better than the AI would. So that's the thing. But all in all, this game was not bad. I love that you can just blow ships up. I love that you will, on occasion, encounter other ships on the sea. There are people that you can pick up, like crew members, that will just join your crew, like just stranded on islands or whatnot. There are little pirate islands, and if you kill all of the pirate hardpoint island stuffs, then you get whatever's in the safe at that location. And again, it's typically more loot free to sell, or possibly some cannons, that kind of thing. So like all in all, it's not bad. I got more enjoyment out of like Sid Meier's Pirates because there's fencing, there's like faction loyalty, like there's the English, French, Spanish, and Dutch, and you had to maintain your diplomacy with all of them. This one is a lighter, dumbed down version of Sid Meier's Pirates, and if that's the kind of game that you're looking for, then by all means pick this one up because it does it fairly well, and the sailing is very satisfying to boot, I think. So there you go, folks. That was Sail Forth. And again, the Maelstrom DLC, I have not checked it out yet, but I do plan to get to it at some point when I've advanced in the story. So this is Vince. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you all next time. Take care.